Hey everyone, welcome to the first 2021 episode of the Professional People Podcast. Excited to have on Casey Ambrose from Casey's in Walled Lake, one of our neighbors here at TDA. We talk about working in the family business, how they navigated through the COVID challenges, and the future of our great city of Walled Lake here. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy. All right, Casey, thanks for coming on today, man. For those of you who don't know Casey, he is a fellow Catholic Central grad of mine and part of a local family business here in Walled Lake like myself as well. And I thought it would be a good way to start off the podcast in 2021 in the own backyard. So everyone, Casey Ambrose from Casey's in Walled Lake. Thanks for coming on, Casey.
Thanks, Dan. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I've been well. Got a lot of snow over the night, so I've been pushing that around. But besides that, we've just been hanging out.
Good. Yeah, and Casey's up at Michigan State right now, but he's still very active in the family business.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the story about Casey's and then tell us your involvement in it?
Yeah, I can start with basically what we started with when I was involved. So it's called Casey's, but my dad's name's really Casey. So, like, the funny story is I always tell people that, like, it's named after me, but they start to realize that the restaurant's been around since 1990 and my existence is only 2000. So that story doesn't really add up very well. But I started really working there probably when I was in the third grade. I used to have this little pot that I would stand on and I would do the dishes. And it was because I was at St. William Middle School. And they didn't let me work at the fish fry. And my dad was like, oh, I ain't letting that happen. So he took me back there on like a Friday, Saturday, and put up a pot next to the dishwasher machine. And he goes, wash dishes. And I go, okay, I can do that. And because that was the same thing they were going to make me do over at the fish fry. And I just got at it. And it was so fun. I think that's where I kind of like got my basics from. But so we've been a restaurant in the Walled Lake area since I think it was 1990. It started as the Choo Choo Deli, and I came around in 2000, so I'm going to butcher some stuff that kind of happened. But it used to be the Choo Choo Deli, and my dad owned just half of the building. And it was literally just like a Subway deli, like you come in from the one side and you leave out the other side. And then he expanded and built a bar, and then it was kind of like a deli bar kind of atmosphere. And that went really well, and he ran with that for a while. And then I believe in like 2010, we added another like whole platform to the menu, which was sushi. We saw this one restaurant down in Marco Island, actually repping Marco Island, and it was a sushi bar. And my dad just like fell in love. My dad always like will find something and just send it, and he just goes for it. And I'm like, okay, Dad, and he went for it, and he hired this, his name was Dash. He was a Japanese local, but he was really, really good at making sushi. And he taught, like, my dad everything he needed to know, and they, like, teamworked. And he's not with us anymore, but he taught us everything, and it really built up really good. And so that happened, and it just was a successful after, like, the 2008, like, economic crisis. Like, everything's just kept building up. And then basically COVID hit, and it happened like 3 weeks right before we opened up for St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is our biggest event, and she closed us down. Our governor closed us down like 3 weeks before. And so we just closed our doors entirely when we were allowed to do outdoor dining wasn't even allowed then. It was just carryouts. In March, we just closed our doors down, and we didn't know really what to do. And we're like, well, we might as well just redo the inside and just kind of like, I don't know, paint, get some stuff redone. And we started painting, and then it started more painting. And then we did so ass backwards. We painted the walls, taped all the floor down for her to like decide to extend it a little bit more, the lockdown. And then my dad goes, oh, the hell with it. Okay, we'll take the floor out too. So after we painted the whole sides, and then the floor was not perfectly taped, untouched by the paint, we ripped the floor out anyway. It just made no sense. But we ended up opening back up on July 6th. and we did a lot more than, I guess, just painting and adding a new floor. We had a lot of time on our hands, so we made an entire new menu. We still stuck with the sushi, but we just revamped our entire like spiel basically. We cut and spliced a lot of the menu items, and now we have a lot of our beers. We're really pushing more of a Michigan local. So we're not a direct brewery, but we are a 15 draft beer bar. So I believe 13 of those beers are Michigan breweries, and then only 2 are domestics. I could get that wrong. I know we have a beer list, so someone fact check me. But that started going great, and we reclosed. We opened on July 6th, and all of that went great, just opening up, and then we reclosed on like right before Thanksgiving, like the second biggest day in bar. It was the first biggest bar night was March, and then it was in Thanksgiving, and it's just like, all right,
double whammy.
We are not any money this year, but that's okay. We just made it work. We kept everybody happy. We kept people employed, which was the most important. We lost a good amount of people. We still have a good solid team of 10 right now, which is great. They're all great, amazing people. But when we closed back down for Thanksgiving was when it got really tough, because that was going back into the winter, and we couldn't just do outdoor dining like normal because it's winter. Like there's a couple feet of snow on the ground right now. So like, how do you expect somebody to eat outside? But we pushed that, and it was really hard, I guess, because I went back up to Michigan State where I'm at now, and because I left them when we were open and things were going great. Both my sisters are bartenders, and basically I will say managers. I say it's ran by quarter, and a quarter. 2 of my sisters, my sister, but my dad pays all the bills. So I guess it
the big fella pays the bills.
Yeah, it depends on really who you ask. But I left them, and it was going great, and then we closed down, so that was really tough. But we just decided to change different things. We created an entire to-go drink menu. So we have, I think it's like 15 different custom craft cocktails. All of our beers, you can get 6-packs to go. We just got, not really just got, a couple weeks ago, we got growlers in that say Casey's on them.
Saw that, yeah.
Yep. We're on, I think the biggest vamp we've ever got from any of this was going on DoorDash and Grubhub, more specifically DoorDash. We went back on DoorDash in, I want to say it was August 30th. And I think we've hit almost 20 to 30K in sales on DoorDash, which is great because that's only been like a couple months. And that just really showed like how many people were not coming out, but like just literally going and dining home. And it was something that was kind of really hard to get my dad to push on because they take a certain percentage commission. So that you just kind of have like a phone call with them, and it's 20%, 25%, whatever they kind of want to make. And my dad just was not for that because it does cut into your profit significantly when you're selling an $8 burger and they're taking a 25% commission. You're just not going to make any money on that. However, there are ways that you can increase the prices on different things, and they do give you a good, I guess I would call it like coupons, but like for the business. So like they give you deals, which is very nice. But I never realized how big DoorDash was compared to like Grubhub, honestly. Or yeah, did I say that right? DoorDash is significantly bigger than Grubhub, and I had no idea that was a thing because if you look at their market share, DoorDash is not as big as Grubhub, but in this area, DoorDash is just so much more prevalent. Like I just don't know why.
That's very interesting. That's I'm just comprehending a lot. It was a lot. It took us from 1990 all the way through COVID adaptations.
It's so too because my dad will give like a whole spiel every time. I started doing the beginning interviews when we try to hire people, because if he ever tries to hire them, they fall asleep. Like the full spiel, but like from his perspective. So like he's there from 6 a.m. till 10 o'clock at night. So he's got a lot of stories.
For sure. He's been, you guys have been in the community, in the Walled Lake community for over 30 years. That's pretty
Yeah,
incredible.
while.
Yeah. And to see, it's just cool to hear you talk about, the adaptations that you guys have made throughout the years. And then, those all seemed like they happened over, from 1990 to 2008 to up to now. And then you got to this year, 2020, or last year, 2020, and then you had like 5 different changes. So it's crazy to see how much you guys had to adapt in so quick of time because of COVID and the interesting different things you said, like getting on Grubhub and DoorDash and, renovating when the time is closed to make your guys' spot better. I think that's so incredible that you guys are able to do that. And, it's just sad to hear that all you restaurants and bars have had to close down for this time, but it's great to see the resilience and to take a positive away from all this that you guys have shown as an industry as a whole.
I mean, it's just, you can't, if you want to close down, you can close down, but then you're going to be closed down for good. Like the bills aren't going to be paid. There's 30 different TVs that are in the building. So like they all have cable boxes, and just because the TVs aren't on doesn't mean that the cable still not has to get paid. So like you have to do what you have to do. And if the consumers aren't going to come to you, you kind of got to go to the consumers. So there are different things that we will try to implement. I can't say we don't know where this is going to go, but we're not too sure if it's going to open up anytime soon. So like different types of things, like we'll have pre-rolled sushi rolls that we'll do, and we'll sell them at like the farmers market every Wednesday, I believe it is, Wednesday mornings. We'll sell those, and just other different types of things where we could just go to different like Milford memory events or different events around the community.
Yeah, and even during the summer, when you guys were open for that stretch of time last year, you guys held a bunch of different events, always like trivia twice a week, had the back patio open. I know you guys are always super active in the community and on local Facebook pages and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, we try to do different things to keep people really interested. I mean, it's like a business doesn't run out, it rusts out. Like you don't move it, you lose it. Like, so just doing different things like trivia, karaoke. We were going to do a car show, just different things that kind of like just incite people that don't.
Yeah.
The best thing is that everybody likes to eat and drink. The hard part is just to get them to want to come to your place to eat and drink. So you just got to try different ways to make it feel like it's basically at home for them.
For sure, and I think you guys do a good job. And I know when I come in there for my lunch, when I used to go in and sit down, your dad always walking around and coming and saying hi to everyone, and that's just the local family feel that you get at Casey's, and that's what we try to provide over here at TDA. And I think that's just the beauty of dealing with local businesses together is getting that local feel where you can come in and everyone knows who you're talking to.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's especially nice, especially in the Walled Lake area. Everyone just kind of knows each other. It's such a small area. Although most of the businesses have been there for a while, and if they're new to the area, everyone's very welcoming. People love to kind of introduce themselves and new people out there.
Yeah, this March will be our 3rd year here in Walled Lake, and 25 years in business. But I couldn't agree with you more. Walled Lake is such a welcoming town. I remember just hosting a chamber event like the first year we were here, first month, and just the amount of people that came to a ribbon cutting was so welcoming. And I've been at a few chamber networking events at your guys' place, and I just, like you said, it's just such a welcoming, neighborly environment, and I couldn't be more happy that we're here.
Oh, well, we're glad to have you. I'm the owner of the damn city. We're glad you're here. No, but I think we've been in Walled Lake since '90. The restaurant's been there longer than we've lived in the city. But ever since we've been there, I think 2008 or 9, my dad ran for mayor, and he did not win, but he ended up running for council. And so he's been on a council board and the DDA board, which is the Downtown Development Authority board. And that goes great because it's nice to have like business people on those types of boards, especially when they're from the city. Their business is within the city, so they have best interest of the city and for the people in the city. You'll always have like the naysayers, and you will always have people against you. And if somebody's talking about you, you got to be doing something right because they're talking about you. So
Yeah. I'm curious because I know like how I got drawn to you was because I see you super active in like the local Facebook pages, like I was saying, and just on your own Instagram and stuff. How do you like? What's your thought processes when you're putting stuff out there? What do you do for design, or do you just kind of wing it and push it out there as you see fit? Like, what are some of your strategies when you're doing it?
yeah, honestly, so for my personal Instagram, I need someone to take my pictures for me, so I'm still waiting for that. But the restaurant, really, I honestly I just wing it. Yeah. There's do you know who God, if I say motivational speaker, he will come find me and kill me. But do you know who Gary Vee is?
Of course, I know Gary Vee. Yeah.
Okay. He's kind of my big insightful man on just posts. I mean, it's the free thing you have. It's one of these is everybody has one of these devices, and it's free media. So, I mean, every time I can get, I will post something, and even if I'm 50, 60 miles away right now, I still can make it seem like I am there all the time, and I'm attentive. I'm not the only one that's an admin on the page, but I am the one that do most of the posting. And it's just simple media, simple marketing, simple Photoshop. It's just cut and splice and being efficient, and not only efficient but
Consistent, I think, is you. Yeah.
yeah.
Take the words out of your mouth. You're always every day I see. I'm like, whoa, I guess I'm going to Casey's for lunch.
Same. We did go through a tough time where the restaurant was getting kind of harassed by just a group, and it was bad because we weren't like running our social media as much as we should have. So it was kind of like nerve-wracking that people were getting like a one-sided. So I kind of took that into like a motivation and kind of showed people like, well, what we really are, and we're not really all this bad and what these mean people are writing about us. You can go look at our reviews now. They're great. And we have now an Instagram, and I mean, we try to post at least once a day. Gary Vee says to post at least 5 times a day, but I got 15 credits on my ass. I'm but yeah, I mean, it's just really simple. I make the photo shoot or Photoshop things just on my phone. It's just like a circle here and a logo over here, and post and add some hashtags, and it'll grow and it builds on its own. And as long as it's like a kid. Like as long as you stay on it, they will like
nurture it.
do fine.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. That's a great mindset to have. I wanted to ask you, since we're in a kind of a similar role, you know, working with our parents, working with our siblings in a family business. I was curious to see what are some of the insights that you have of working with your family, positives, and then some of the challenges as well.
For sure. Family. They teach you patience. They definitely teach you patience. And I think the biggest thing is that you can't yell at your boss, but you can jab at your family. So it's a lot easier because they know how they grew up with you, so they know how to get under your gears, and they might not even like be getting under your skin, but you think they are. And you have to just kind of take that mindset back for a sec and realize that we're all here for the same motivation. We all want the best interest of the business. And I mean, once you realize that, it's not as a big deal. I would say during like working during the restaurant when we're busy, like full cover right now, there's no table in the house. I think it's pretty great because I can almost like we're like twins. I feel like I can sense what's going on at the bar, and I can sense what's going on at the kitchen because my dad's there and then my sister's there. But just like the nitpicky little things of like I like this font and she likes this font, and I posted a beer too early because it's not on draft yet, but the keg is there, like just little things. But after that, it's fun. It's great. It's really great to work with family. I and the youngest involved in it, so I feel like the most passionate, and they maybe don't always like to talk about it. But I mean, I love to talk about business. I would talk about it. I talk about it at the dinner table. I get the idea in my head, and I'm like, Dad, what do you think about this? And he's sitting there with his beer, and he's like, I don't care. I'm like, come on, you don't care. We could make millions. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, could flip burgers nationally though. He's like, okay, slow it down. But no, and also the biggest thing I do appreciate working with family is that they the great teaching experience. I mean, I'm a business major. I have no idea what I want to do with my life. I'm 20 years old, and they're going to make me get a sheet of paper here in 2 years that tells me I'm supposed to know. So it's nice to just kind of go do business at my parents' family's restaurant and try different things. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not my entire life on the line. And I'm not saying I'm just throwing random stuff out at my dad's business, but it's nice to be able to learn something on a business that's been around and has a reputation for 30 years. That it's not one post when I spelled raspberry wrong isn't going to ruin me. Just different little things. It just doesn't. It's nice to just be able to practice, and somebody can coach you, and you just learn all the way, and they love you too because they're your family, and they can't really can't fire you too bad.
Yeah, I agree. Similar experience over here. I think the biggest challenge is just when you get in an argument. It's like getting in an argument at home. Like you can't really. People get mad, and you know how to poke each other's buttons, like you said. I think a second thing you touched on too is it's hard to not bring work home, and I think it's important to get that separation. But when you're eating dinner together and you go home, and after spending all day together in the battlefield, that it's a little bit stressful at times. So that's definitely a challenge.
And then there's like my mother too, and she's not involved at all of the restaurant. Like she not involved. She won't do anything for it, with it, about it. If my dad, love him to God, if he ever passed away, my mom would get rid of that thing so fast.
That's funny. I got mom, dad, and brother at the business, so and that's all we got. So we got a battlefield. But yeah, but it's a beautiful thing. I get so happy to walk in every day and see my family. And then I also like being all of us together. I think we're able to, pass that family feel onto our staff because we do really feel like they're family. And then the business model is hopefully that our staff passes that family feel onto our clients. And so I think that working with family and just bringing that, family culture, and kind of treating everyone like family is the best part that I've learned so far. And I just love hearing other family businesses story because usually it's something similar until money gets in the way somewhere.
It's really nothing that's far, especially because we have very similar, I would say, growing up experiences, growing up in around the same area, same high school. Like everything's really very same, but different. Like there's just family is family, and you gotta love them.
For sure. So one last topic I want to get on before I ask you the closing question. What do you like? We got 2 family businesses here in Walled Lake. What do you think the future is looking like here? And I'm excited for it. I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
On, I guess I'll just a little bit.
The future of Walled Lake, the business community,
see it, the city as a whole. Got it on the map now, so now we just have to get more population going. But everything I would say is really going pretty good. The council, I don't know what genuinely happened last night, but they just had a meeting where they were going to either approve or deny a 22-unit apartment that's going to be right across the street from Mercer Beach. It's going to be built by I don't remember what the developers' names are, but it's only going to be 22 units. It's going to be 44 parking spaces with an additional 7 on the side, and there's going to be a 1,600 square foot retail store that's going to go in there too. So that's going to be cool. It's going to be something kind of small, like a coffee shop, bakery. I think they want to try to keep something away from an evening type of event, so there's enough parking down there. But then we have we have the Beechwood development that's getting built right now over on Decker Road, and there's another one that's going up at Pontiac Trail and Decker that's getting built by the same developers over on by in front of the beach. So those are going great. It's cool to see developers really taking interest in Walled Lake. It's been a long time since development has happened where like mass subdivision, I would say, building is going. The last one, was probably East Bay over on the lake. But it's cool because, the council is really pushing a lot of things. And, some people don't like things they do, but some people do. But, in the end, it's the best interest of the city. So you got to get sidewalks fixed, you got to get the roads fixed, and we got to get people back to the city. We got to give a reason why people want to come to Walled Lake. You can't just expect them to come or they won't come. It's the same thing selling burgers. You can't just flip the burger and put it on the table and expect somebody to come. If they're not coming to you, you have to go to them. So development's going great in the city. I think we're finalizing on the third dispensary that's going in the city. It's called Bazanzo's. It's going to be over on Pontiac Trail.
Right by Copper Mug there.
Maple and Decker right there. That will be the third and final provisioning center, and those are doing great for the city. The amount of traffic that it brings in, like people traffic of walking, moving, coming to the city, spending money here, going to lunch here, going and buying a joint, and then going to the beach. Now I'm saying they're smoking it. I'm just saying they went and got it. It's more money that comes to the city, and the more I don't know if this is necessarily true, but I believe 10% of profit a dispensary gives, they have to give it back to their community they're in. So I know Jerry Millen that owns the greenhouse down the street. He's doing things left and right for the community. He's redoing the downtown with just small things with planter boxes he repainted the Foster farmhouse over on the park. He did Adopt a Family it was Adopt a Family where he got $10,000 and gave it to family in the area. So businesses are doing great in the city. They're giving back now. What else is going on? Hopefully this summer everything's gonna go good with COVID reasons, and we can open back up, because last year we missed out on like the Memorial Day parade, which is the largest parade in the Oakland County area. We had the beach party where they pour all the sand on the downtown area. They take buckets of sand and just lay it down. And then at night they have the fireworks party. So luckily we've canceled the fireworks through the Walled Lake Civic Fund, but a great guy named Eddie from Barrels of Wine down the street that owns the party store has been generous enough to shoot off some fireworks over the summer. Gotten a couple barges out there somehow. I don't know how he gets them out there, but he just kind of pushes it out and all night. But have that we're working on, which I might need your help and some other businesses' help. We're going to do a triathlon. So we're going to do it from one side of the lake to the other. And then I believe it would be, I don't know the logistics, but there would be either 2 runs around the lake, and then they would do the Michigan Trail that would go down towards either West Bloomfield or Wixom. But that's still in the logistics, and that's still getting planned out, and that's going to be pretty awesome. And we also have the Campus Safety Park, which is going right next to downtown. It is going to be a mixture of a mini playground. I guess I'll say it's going to be a trailhead for the trail there's a trail that goes all the way back there in the Michigan Airline Trail. Yeah. There's a bridge that connects it, and there's going to be also a fire what is it called, where they take their hoses and they spray that stuff. It's like a practice thing.
Yeah.
That's getting built right now, and everything's going great. People are moving in. People are building enormous houses in the area, making the property values go up immensely. We got a new development that just went right across the street from the beach. I'm sure you've seen it. It's that new modern house that's right down.
Yeah, absolutely. Right in our backyard here.
Yeah. And so, everything else is going really good, and I hope we can keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I know. I'm super excited. Like I said, that we came here and I can just feel the potential energy with, it's such a beautiful city and everyone, like we said, is so nice and welcoming and it's a great place to be. And I'm just excited to watch Walled Lake continue to grow with all the exciting stuff you just mentioned. That's just coming up soon. And I'm sure it will just continue to build on and get better and better from there. And I just can't wait for having it. And I'm so happy that you came on and shared with us today.
Yeah, I want to mention also, I think it's on February 6th. They're doing the ice fishing tournament on the lake, and there's going to be I believe there's two grand prize fish that are going to be in the lake. They're tagged. They're $10,000 each, and then there's additional prizes. You can go look it up on the Walled Lake Civic Fund Facebook page. I know they're posting a ton of things about it, and it's going to be a great event. There's a couple restaurants, the Tiki Bar and Broil, that should be serving stuff, and then Big Dip too, that's a little bit down the street.
Yeah.
But it should be a great event, and hopefully everyone can come out and hang out and get a little outside of their house for once.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And I just thanks again for coming on. And we always end the podcast with one question, so let me hit you with it. What's one tip you have for professional people out there?
One tip I have for professional people. Golly. I would say the most professional tip I have would be probably I wouldn't say it's professional, but it's good to just live life through it. Just live it with a smile, honestly. Just like, don't stress about the little things. Don't let little things bother you. Just, if something goes wrong, it's not really going wrong. Step back, take 5 seconds, count in your head, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, calm down. Do not spiral out of control, because if you spiral out of control, then, I mean, you're basically just one human yelling at another and neither of you are listening. So, I mean, most professional thing would probably be just, smile, get through it, and don't worry about the little things.
I think that's great. That's great advice, man, for professionals and anyone out there. Casey, thanks for coming on, and can't wait to continue to do big things in Walled Lake with you.
I hope to see you back there. Get out of East Lansing soon.
Thanks for coming on.
Take care, man.
Thanks for listening. And remember, keep it professional, people.